We're live.
Thank you, Connor. Good afternoon. This is convening of the Massachusetts Gaming Commission. It's Monday, April 28th, 2025. It's approximately 2:07 p.m. I'm the reason for the delay. I had some tech issues. It is agenda setting meeting 191. Since we're doing this virtually, we will do roll call. Good afternoon, Commissioner O'Brien.
Good afternoon, I'm here.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Hill.
Good afternoon. I'm here.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Skinner.
Good afternoon.
And Commissioner Broder will be watching but not joining today. All right, I believe we're going to turn it straight to Secretary Skinner for some minutes.
That's right. We're all ready. I move that the commission approve the minutes from the April 16, 2025 agenda setting meeting that are included in our packet, subject to any necessary corrections for typographical errors or other non-material matters.
Second.
Zach?
Thank you. Goes to Commissioner O'Brien. Commissioner O'Brien,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Skinner,
Aye.
and I vote yes for 4 and then 1 absent. 4-0. All right, we're going to turn it to page 2. I'm going to do this like I've been doing it the last few weeks. We have dates from April 30th to August 12th on page 2. I'll give everyone a second to review it. There's some adjudicatory hearings, public hearings, agenda setting meetings. See if there's anything we want to add, change. Commissioner O'Brien.
The June 5th public meeting.
Mhm.
I think I'm at a conference at that point.
Yeah, I'm at the same conference, Commissioner O'Brien.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just us two, I guess they'd have a quorum without us. Just wanted to flag that as a possibility. I don't know if anyone else is going.
I didn't ask for any adjustments only because I, kind of wait and see what's on the agenda. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping that, Chair, we can, if there are any major policy items, we can
Right.
just take into consideration the fact that Eileen and Commissioner O'Brien and I possibly won't be in attendance.
Right.
So can we do this? I think it makes sense if that's the case. For
An asterisk
Grace,
next or something.
for Grace, yeah, let's look at
Yeah,
there's an alternative, especially since I don't know who all is going and not going. So
right.
there could be a quorum going. So so we can do that. Anything else? Any other dates?
I don't think so that I can see.
All right, anything to add from commissioners or the team? I always look at Director Monahan because usually there's an adjudicatory hearing I'm not thinking of. Right. Okay, let's turn it over to May 5th. ED Serpa, an administrative update.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Skinner, hold for minutes.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Hill did tell me we're going to hold for legislative update. Councilor Grossman, will we have any regs coming our way?
Hello, no regs that day.
Okay. Chief Teresi.
Good afternoon. Nothing other than the catalog language discussion.
All right. Director Monahan, anything to add to that date?
So we will not have any non-compliance matters, and the civil administrative penalty that we had held time for, we'd actually like to move that to the 22nd.
Okay. And then it looks like our friends at MGO may come back on a different date.
Yes, I just actually spoke to Jed right before this, and they'd like to take it off the 5th, and I will have to follow up with him on what date they'd like to put it back on for, but there's just some movement there.
Yeah, and it's because they're coming up with a proposal for us, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm good with that, commissioners. Are we good with that? All right. What about this UFC language? We're going to go forward with that on that date?
Yes, we'll be all set with that.
All right. We have a 2:45 hard stop that date, but with that in mind, we just did remove one item. Anything to add from the team?
Mr. Chairman, I did want to put about 15 minutes on to discuss the status of the state budget with respect to the Community Mitigation Fund and looking to get a little bit of guidance from the commission on, some of the options that we have on moving forward.
Okay, and I think Commissioner Hill had circled around with you and kind of previewed it with the entire commission at our last meeting.
Yeah, that was my understanding that he was going to do that.
Yep, I did.
All right. Commissioners, I'm good with Joe's request, Chief Delaney's request.
I am
All
as well.
right. All right. Anything else to add to that date? All right. Page 4, and if I'm being too quick, you can stop me. Anybody can stop me. Thursday, May 22nd, we just moved the civil administrative penalty, so I'll go ahead and start there. ED Serpa, will we hold the administrative update? He's saying
Sure.
yes. All right. Commissioner Skinner, will we have minutes?
Yes, I think we'll have a couple of public meeting sets, but then also a few executive session meeting minutes. And I'm noting that there is an executive session anticipated for that meeting already for another matter.
Works perfectly then, right? We'll hold the legislative update. Councilor Grossman, anything from your team?
Not at the moment, not on regulations.
All right. We have some waiver requests and some KYC issues. Chief Teresi?
Yes, we'll be all set with those. And then we could also add 2 sets of house rules. One is PSI and one is Fanatics.
All right, I'm good with adding those. Commissioners, are we good with that? What do you think? 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
Yeah, probably if we had 45, so maybe bump that to an hour and probably be good with that.
Got it. All right. What about the advertising saturation issue, Chief Teresa? Are we going to hold that?
Is Judy on?
Meeting.
Hey, Judy.
Afternoon, Chair and Commissioners, that is all ready to go. It should be, a short presentation of the research we've done across the United States and abroad, and then teeing up for a discussion for commissioners.
Wouldn't even think the advertising would be an issue, sports wagering. So thank you, Councilor Young,
My pleasure.
being tongue in cheek. All right. We have an exchange market conversation.
Yep, that'll be ready to go on the 22nd. There's plenty to talk about in that space, so we'll try and keep it high level and give ample time for Q&A to the extent we can help out with explaining that whole area.
That meeting that you previewed for us, either last time or the last time we talked for the entire commission, it's canceled, right?
It was canceled last week. There's not a lot of info out there about why, but it's been canceled. I'll keep you posted if we see it come back alive for some reason.
Is this the roundtable, Justin?
Yes, Commissioner Skinner, they canceled the roundtable last week. There was no indication why or if it will be rescheduled. It was just canceled. So.
Well, thank you for staying on top of that, Justin. Any questions, commissioners? All right. Director Monahan.
We do not anticipate any compliance matters for the 22nd.
Except for the update that we've already.
Yes, that we already talked about.
Chief Delaney, will we do quarterly reports that date?
We should be all set for those. I believe all 3 of our licensees will be reporting on that day.
Thank you. And then Chief Lennon.
We'll be ready.
Update. All right. Commissioners, team.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Hill.
So I would like to add, and I think this would be a good day for it, an update to the commission regarding the tribal gaming that's now taking place. And if we have anything to do with that, I'd like to get an update. I know a compact has been signed, but where does the MGC fit within that compact? Now that they're up and running, and I saw that they increased the amount of slot machines at the Welcoming Center, I think this would probably be an appropriate time for us to get an update on the compact. And again, how does that affect the Mass Gaming Commission? Do we have any authority? Do we collect any receipts? What is it, if we even have any responsibilities now that they're up and running?
Well, a couple of things. One is we better be careful with the definition of slot machine. The second thing I would say is that we want to respect the sovereignty of the tribe, but I think that's perfectly fine for us to get at least an update on the issue.
Yeah, Chair, I can indicate that legal has been following this. Todd and I have been tracking this and what Commissioner Hill referenced. So we've been paying close attention. So I'm sure we could put something together and bring it up and just kind of explain, the compact and where it ties into our involvement without getting into all the details, because there's a lot in the compact about where there's potential overlap with us and a lot of optionality for the tribe. So there's not as much mandatory stuff. There's a lot of options for the tribe to use this as a resource, but happy to do a presentation on this for the 22nd.
Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
Commissioners, anything to add? Anything else to add to this date?
Chair?
I almost called you Commissioner Vanderlinden. There you go. Director Vanderlinden.
So I recognize that the agenda is looking pretty packed, but I do have a confirmation from the Public Health Institute of Western Mass for a presentation on the Springfield Youth Health Survey. If you feel like it's too full, I can ask if we can move that to a different date.
How long are we anticipating?
Why don't we say 25 to 30 minutes?
And I will say you don't have any other matters that day also. So, I'm fine with that. Commissioners, are we good getting an update? I know we've looked forward to this. All right, we're good with that. Dr. Vanderlinden.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anything else to add to the 22nd? All right. Let's talk about June 5th. Do we want to hold an administrative update, Dean?
Sure.
And thank you. Commissioner Skinner, minutes on that date, on June 5th?
Yes, please. I thought I was unmuted, but apparently not.
That's fine. Legislative update, Commissioner Hill, do we want to hold that? All right, he did say earlier we could. Councilor Grossman, anything from your team to add to that date?
Not yet, possibly the next agenda.
Okay. Chief Teresi?
Nothing to add right now.
All right. Then what about any non-compliance matters for that date?
Nothing right now, but Kathleen and I will also be traveling back from that conference, so I don't anticipate much from the IAB on that date.
All right. Well, and of course, when I use that date, it's subject to, with the asterisks, as Commissioner O'Brien said, to move. So if anything comes up before then, just let us know at the next agenda setting meeting.
Absolutely.
We'll try to nail down a date too. Alternative date, June 17th. I'm going to hold the administrative update, ED Serpa.
Sure, thank you.
Hold meeting minutes, Commissioner Skinner.
Please.
We'll hold the legislative update. Councilor Grossman, I'm assuming we'll hold that time.
Yes, that'd be great.
All right. Sports wagering, anything big going on at the end of June?
Yeah, we could actually move up from under review to the June 17th meeting, the debrief on the Tyson Paul event and discussion of rules changes.
Okay. Sounds good. Are we good with that, commissioners? And then we'll hold the non-compliance matter time, Director Monahan.
Thank you. Yeah.
Anything else to add to the 17th? Chief Lennon?
First cut at the FY26 budget.
Man, it comes around pretty quick, doesn't it?
It does. And with the way the schedule lines up this year, we may actually drift into the first meeting in July for approval.
Wow. Okay. Anything else to add on that date? Knowing that we've got some time to add.
I think we should, if not for June 17th, although that is the last identified date, for a public meeting on the upcoming meeting schedule, we should just get it under review, the elections for the officer discussion, which I think the turnover date is the beginning of the beginning of July, maybe, or is it mid-July? Anyway, at the very least, that should probably go under review so that we can identify a date. So that we'll be ready to switch over when that date hits in July.
That is a great flag, Secretary Skinner. And I can tell you, when I was secretary, I was looking forward to that date too. So. All
Just
right.
want to point out, I was secretary for 18 months before I passed the baton, so.
Well, thank you very much for getting us on a regular cadence, Commissioner O'Brien.
Yeah, and Bruce Stebbins has got us all beat, so.
We may start just sending them to Bruce Stebbins to review anyway.
Yeah. Because, he's got nothing on his plate right now, so.
Well, with that, anything else to add before we move to under review?
Chair Maynard, could I add the FY26 gaming research agenda?
I think that makes sense. Commissioners, are we good with hearing about the FY26 agenda that day?
Mhm.
That date's going to be looking ahead. A lot of looking ahead in that meeting. All right. How long does that usually takes, what, 45 minutes or so, Director Vanderlinden?
Since this is the second round coming back to you, it probably won't take that long. Maybe 25 minutes.
We'll do 30.
Okay.
All right. Under review, Commissioner O'Brien, Compliance Committee.
Yep, still under review.
All right. Discussion of illegal markets.
I think still under review. We did touch base with the AG's office, but I think a lot of us have had 2x2s. I don't think there's anything for marking up in a public meeting. I don't know, Commissioner Skinner, you feel differently?
No, but I do think it's a good idea to keep it under review.
Yeah.
As we move toward more in-depth discussions with the AG's office, if there's anything to bring forward, we'll have it there.
All right. And that is separate and apart from that, the other discussion that we're going to have around
Prediction markets, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay, that's good. I meant to ask that last time and I forgot. All right. The early economic impact of sports betting in the Commonwealth.
Yeah,
Dr. Andrews.
We need to keep that under review. It's nearing the finish line, but I'm just not quite ready yet.
All right. We pulled off the Tyson Paul conversation. BCLC.
Leave it under review, please.
Chair, I don't think we pulled off the Tyson Paul discussion. Did we have an identified date?
Oh, yeah. And I asked, I looked at your box, Commissioner Skinner, when I asked. On the 17th, Carrie's suggesting we do it that day.
No, that's on a different matter. That's on the Russian representation, the clarifying in the catalog what it means to, and I'm drawing a blank on the exact phrasing. Carrie will have to take
I'm
it.
not good enough to write that, Commissioner
The-
Skinner, if it wasn't said, so it definitely came up.
Yeah,
You're confusing the two issues though, but Carrie can clarify.
no, so the catalog language is on for the 5th, and the Tyson Paul, I did move up from under review to the 17th, June 17th.
Okay, so that's, okay, so June 17th.
Right.
Okay, got it. Sorry. So I'm the one who's confused.
I was just saying, there's no way I would have thought to write Tyson
But I
Paul
did.
that day.
You tried to tell me.
I even looked at your box like an extra 8 seconds when I asked. So I am moving quick, so stop me if I'm moving too quick, please. Chief Delaney, when are we going to look at those applications? Does it have to do, or is this a order of operations conversation?
Yeah, so I think actually, I probably should have mentioned this when we went through the list of all of the upcoming meetings. We have got a date of May 27th, I believe, for that discussion, a separate meeting just to discuss Community Mitigation Fund, which will happen, I think, after the agenda setting that morning. Is that right, Grace?
Yes, that is correct. We're
Okay.
scheduled for that for May 27th.
Okay.
And the hope is to get through all of it in one long session.
So it's kind of like a standalone meeting.
Yeah, it will be, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Got it. Anything else, Joe?
Not at this point, no.
The Springfield Youth Health Survey, we're going to pull that off, and we've moved it to
The 20th, May 22nd.
gosh. All right. Anything else to add to under review or to take off or move? Bless you, Commissioner O'Brien.
I do have, I would like to add the sports wagering diversity study. This is the second of the 2 statutory required studies. So that's in its, I think we just sent the final round of feedback to the research team, so it should be ready soon.
Sounds good to me. Look forward to hearing it. We good with adding that to under review, everyone? All right. Let's see. Do we have any commissioner updates? Anything that we've not discussed that we didn't anticipate discussing today? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Brien. Commissioner O'Brien,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Skinner,
Aye.
and I vote yes 4-0. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy this beautiful day if you haven't been out yet.